Hello and welcome to class number 5 of our 10-class yoga series for the Summer Soul Reset program. Today we are in the beautiful McLean Health Sciences building on the Methodist University campus. And as you can see, today I brought my backup dancers. This is Kristen, this is George. They're going to do yoga with us today. So I thought you just might like to see some new faces, some how other people do yoga, just a reminder that there's no one way to move into these poses or move out of them. Just however you feel comfortable is what you want to do. So we're going to start today with some standing warm-ups. All right, so let's just get yourself into mountain pose, which I know you're familiar with by now. Feet parallel, about hip width apart. You've got these bones right here, straight down to your feet. Shoulders down, shake them out, neck nice and long. Here we are in mountain pose. So first let's get ourselves centered into the room with some breath, okay? So nothing special on the breath, just kind of breathing in deeply, breathing out deeply, and just place your awareness on your breath. Okay, so at your own pace. Nice deep breaths. You can close your eyes if you like. Just kind of begin to forget about the world around you, the world outside this room. Come together just for these few minutes, let it all go. Deep breaths. Let's start our stretch out. So first of all, arms overhead. Reach your left arm way up to the sky. Stretch all the way down to your hips here. Reach as high as you can. Keep your feet flat on the floor. Other side, reach as high as you can. Stretch out the rib cage, stretch out your hips. Back to left arm. Pull it up with your right hand. Reach. Other side. Reach. Bring your arms down and roll your shoulders to the back. Nice wide circles. Engage all of your shoulders. Bring it in, and then go the opposite direction, forward. Use your shoulders to do it, full arm movement. And arms out to your sides, palms up, and then flip them all the way around so your palms are up the other way. And all the way around. And all the way around. Engage your whole shoulders as you're doing this. All the way back around. And back up. One more time. Around. And up. Shake your arms out real well. Head over to the left side. Nice long neck on the right. Shoulders way down. Don't scrunch this side too much, just make it a nice long neck. And up to center and over on the other side. Don't forget to breathe all the while. And back to center, and now look to the left. So you see if George is over here behaving himself. Yeah, he's doing it. And back to center. Look to the right. I'll check on Kristen. Yeah. Behaving. And back to center. And shake it out a little bit. Let's just do a wide hangover now. Feet 3, 4, 5 feet apart, whatever you feel like. And just hang. And just let it stretch out your back, stretch out your shoulders. You can cross your arms if you want.
or leave your hands on your legs, hands on the floor, whatever feels comfortable. Just trying to stretch out, and you can kind of roll around a little bit from one side to the other. See if you can get all the kinks out. And just hang and relax. Feel this stretch through your back, your lower back, through your hamstrings, up the back of your legs. And when you've had enough, bend your knees a little bit and then roll up from the base of your spine. Slowly, nice long roll up back to center. Bring your feet back together, back to mountain pose. Just take a moment, close your eyes, feel your breath again, see if you can feel the energy that these poses brought into your body. All right, next up I want to introduce you to sun salutation, sometimes also known as sun salute. This is a classic sequence of poses, kind of put together, all together, so it kind of moves through different parts of your body. And this is sort of the grandmother of all yoga flow. If you have started looking at other classes at your nearby yoga studios, you may see a lot of different styles or types of yoga. There are just, I don't know, dozens, hundreds, so many different kinds of yoga. As I mentioned before, you'll not find anybody who teaches yoga just like I do, and same with any other yoga instructor. It's all different. It's sort of like we talked about yoga was created initially some couple thousand years ago, and it's kind of been shooting off in different directions ever since. So it's kind of like that parlor game where you whisper something to your neighbor and it moves around the room, and by the time it's back to you, it's something completely different. So know that when you go into a yoga class, it may be, until you get a little used to it, something that you've never seen before. But there are some terms for styles of yoga that have some consistency, but even then, not always the same. I mentioned flow. That's a really big thing these days in the US, just because we like kind of a cardio workout, we like movement, so the poses flowing together keeps you a little more active. But there's power flow and there's gentle flow, so you can imagine those are quite different from each other. Vinyasa is very popular in the United States, and it is kind of usually, I can't say universally, but usually kind of an up-tempo flow class where you're moving from one pose into the next, just kind of morphing from one to the next. Ashtanga tends to be flow also, but a little more challenging, a little harder. Okay. Yin yoga is one that tends to be, some of the floor poses we've done, where you're just holding it for a long time. That tends to be yin. You're trying to work the deep muscles, the deep tissues, so you kind of hold poses for a long time in yin yoga. There are dozens more. I won't name them all. Sometimes yoga is target specific. You could go to a class that is for back pain, or for pregnant women, or restorative yoga is a good thing, just trying to bring you back to a calm and centered place. There's aerial yoga is a new thing, where you're flying and yogaing all at one time. There's yoga with goats, believe it or not, where you've got goats walking on your back. I mean, there's pretty much any kind of yoga you can imagine. And they will range from, it's just hardcore boot camp kind of yoga to very mellow Zen kind of yoga. And it's just the absolute spectrum. So I hope if you go to a class and you feel like, this isn't really for me, you'll go to a different class, because it will absolutely be different. One thing you might want to watch for if you are picking out a class is usually you can find on a website or give the instructor a call. It'll be designated more like beginner, intermediate, advanced, something like that. So even all the ones I mentioned, they could be on that beginner to advanced spectrum. And advanced can mean a variety of differences from a beginner class. Advanced could have more, just harder, more challenging, physically challenging poses, like you're standing on your hands or something like that. It could be that you move through poses faster, and that makes it just a little more challenging. Or it could mean that you move through poses slower and you hold them longer, and that can make it more challenging as well. An advanced class can also mean that there's a sort of assumed knowledge that you have already. So you know the terminology of yoga already if you're in an advanced class. So someone can just say, okay, warrior 2, warrior 3, triangle, and you just go to them. You don't really need the physical cues of put your feet here, there. So I do recommend that you maybe start with a beginner class if you haven't done some already. But back to the matter at hand, we're doing sun salutations, okay? So as I said, you've already done all of these poses. We're just going to kind of bring them together into a sequence. And we'll start out slow at first, but we'll go through this sun salutation several times and speed it up a little bit after we've done it a few times, after you've kind of gotten used to it. So I'm going to have us go to the end of our mats, and I'll go from the side. Let's face this way. And because we'll want to put our legs back here at some point, okay? But hopefully you'll be able to see what I'm doing, and you can play along. But it will just be, as I said, a sequence of events. For the first time through, we will just try to get to the poses, and then we'll talk about incorporating breath or speeding it up or anything like that. As with everything else on yoga, we'll do it on one side, and then we'll do it on the other side, okay? So we will begin with arms up over our heads. And then from here, forward fold, a swan dive, arms out into a forward fold. And then hang for a moment in your forward fold. And then we're going to morph into runner pose, so a low lunge. So take your left foot back, keep your right foot up. All right. Just hold this one for a minute. You can leave your knee down. For now, we'll just do this runner pose. And then we're going to go back into a plank, which we've also done. So take your right foot on back, and then hold this plank. And from here, take your knees to the floor, and your chest to the floor, and your chin to the floor. And then kind of get yourself situated. Bottoms of your feet facing up, and we're going to move into cobra pose. So plant your hands right under your shoulders, and then one vertebrae at a time. Lift your face, your neck, and your chest off the floor. And keep your hips on the floor. And then slowly back down, same direction. And then we're going to push up into table just on our way to downward dog. Okay, so all the way back up into downward dog. Situate your feet, take a few steps in place, and then stretch into the downward dog. And then bring your right foot back up between your hands, back into that same runner pose you were in a minute ago. And then left foot back up. And once again, you're hanging over into forward fold. And then stretch your arms out to your ears and come straight on up. And then hands to prayer position in front of your chest. All right, that's one side. That's half of a sun salute. All right, so let's go ahead. We'll take the other side slow again. So your hands are here in prayer position. Take them up over your head. Stretch arms out to the sides and swan dive, bow forward into forward fold. And this time we'll take right foot back into that runner lunge. And then left foot back into plank. Knees down, chest down, chin down. And then bottoms of the feet up, hands under your shoulders, and up into cobra. And roll back down. And then kind of table your way through on your knees, back up to downward dog. And stretching that. And then bring your left foot back up, I believe is what we were doing. Back into the runner pose. Right foot up. Hang down into forward fold. And then arms up to your ears, stretch out. Arms overhead, straight up and down. And back down into prayer pose. Okay, what'd you think? We good? We good? All right. So those are the poses that you're going through. I'm sure you recognized all of them. We did the forward fold, the runner, the plank, the downward dog, and then just kind of back in the other direction. So you can do this kind of gently and slowly as a warm-up. You can do it and just more rigorously later on in your yoga practice as a heart-pounding experience. But anywhere in between works as well. We'll try it again, and we'll try to flow a little more smoothly through it. What we'll try to do also is incorporate inhales and exhales with it. But as always, if you ever are off from what I'm doing, just, don't be choking on your breath, just whatever's comfortable for you. Usually what we're doing is we're kind of inhaling open as we've done before and kind of exhaling in, so you can kind of modify your breath to kind of work with those movements. As I said before, yoga is different everywhere. This is a classic traditional sun salutation, but that doesn't mean if you go to a yoga class, they'll do it exactly the same way. I was watching one earlier this week, and she actually incorporated chair pose and child pose somewhere in there, and I had never seen those in a sun salutation before, so everything's different, all right? But this is a basic sort of rooted fundamental sun salutation. All right. Enough rest, let's try it again. Ready? Start a little prayer. Okay, nice tall mountain pose to begin. You can begin your hands in prayer pose right in front of your chest if you like. And what we'll do now is inhale, arms up overhead. And then exhale, forward bend, arms down. And then inhale into runner, left leg back. And just take a breath there. And then inhale back to plank. And then exhale down, knees, chest, chin. Inhale up into cobra. Exhale down. Curl your toes under, inhale up into downward dog. And take a breath there. Inhale your right foot forward. Back into runner. And exhale your other foot up. And inhale, arms forward. And exhale, palms down to your chest. Other side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, down, forward fold. Inhale, right leg back. Exhale, push into the runner pose. Inhale back into plank. Exhale, knees, chest, and chin down. Inhale, cobra up. Exhale, cobra down. Inhale through table and up to downward dog. Exhale into the downward dog stretch. Inhale, left foot up between your hands. Exhale into that runner stretch. Inhale, right foot forward. Exhale into the forward fold. And inhale, arms up to your ears and out and above you. And exhale down to prayer position. Okay, how was that? Better? Worse? Better? Worse?
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, so don't worry if your breath isn't with what I'm saying. Inhale, exhale. Sometimes I'm not even convinced mine was. But what you want to do is to be aware of how your breath is moving with your movements. Make it comfortable. Make it part of the movement. Okay, that's part of the centering role of the breath and the pushing of the stretches, etc. So we did it fairly quickly there, just a movement with each inhale and exhale. It could be longer, could be shorter. We're going to try it again, and this time we're going to try to push through even a little bit faster. So see if you can kind of stay on top of these moves, and we'll see what we can do. We'll see if we can get our heart pounding a little bit. My heart's pounding a little bit.
It's begun.
Okay, you ready to try it again? Here we go. All right, sun salutation, take 3. And prayer position, hands. Just take a breath here. Get yourself centered again. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, back to runner, left leg back. Exhale, back to plank. Inhale, knees, chest, chin. I forget what we're doing, but inhale up, cobra. And exhale down. Inhale back into down dog. Exhale, plank forward, or inhale, plank forward. Sorry, totally messing up the breath. Guys, are you choking back here? You all right?
Still breathing.
And left foot up. Hang over. Arms extend out and up. And back to prayer position. Okay, on the other side, I'm not going to mention breath. You do your own breath. All right, ready? Inhale, oops, I said inhale. Arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Whoops, I can't stop saying breath. Right leg back. Left leg back to plank. Come down. Cobra up. Cobra down. Downward dog. Left leg up. Right foot up. Reach out forward. And back to prayer. How was that one? Some of the transitions that we did, you don't necessarily have to do, like you don't need to hit table on your way back to downward dog. That's just to kind of make it a little bit easier for you. You don't have to put down knees, chest, and chin. If you feel like you can go straight down from a plank, that's fine too. But that's the sequence we're aiming for. Okay. So, you think you've had enough sun salutation for one day? I think probably so. We'll circle back around to that on another day. But for now, let's move on. All right, next up we're going to go with triangle. I'm sure you remember triangle. And to do this, we have Feet out about maybe 4 feet apart, okay? Facing forward, hips nice and steady, no anything like this right now. And then for triangle, do you remember the name of it, Sanskrit?
Trikonasana.
Trikonasana, check that out, yay. George knows. I haven't taught them much in Sanskrit, I don't know a lot, but that's the one we learned, Trikonasana. Okay, here we go. So arms up to your shoulder level with palms forward. And then we're going to reach out to the left side just a little and then pinwheel down. Whoops, I forgot to turn this leg out. Sorry, I'm distracted with my backup dancers. Shoulders back, hips open, chest wide. Let this lower hand end up wherever it ends up, but reach distance between your hands. If you're able to look up a bit, look up, but don't overextend your neck. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, preferably on an inhale, windmill yourself back up, foot in, and arms down. Take a breath, and we'll head to the other side. This time I'm going to let George and Kristen do it on their own. Okay, remember we're turning this time. Right foot is out to the right, 90 degrees, lined up with your arch of your other foot. Arms will be out to your sides, and we'll reach out and down, but I want to show you there's something you may run across in yoga classes called your teacher may come around and say, may I do an adjustment? And that means basically just kind of, modifying where you are a little bit to move you in the direction of the optimal version of the pose, okay? And you always have the right to opt out. If your teacher says, may I do an adjustment here? She's not going to do anything like your neck or anything like that. It'd just be very mild, just a little bit in one direction. But you always have the option to say no, okay? Yoga is really great at helping you develop proprioception, which is your body awareness, your kinesthetic awareness of where your body is in space. And that's really useful just out in the real world, so you're not stepping off a curb or, elbowing somebody you don't see. It just kind of gives you a sense of what your parameters are and, what's the difference if your arms are at shoulder level? Are they at shoulder level, or are they up here? Or are they back here? Or are they down here? So developing that sense of where you want to be in space, where you are in space, is a good thing with yoga. And adjustments can help with that a little bit, because you may feel like your arms are straight out, but actually they could be a little bit like this, okay? So when you're ready, go ahead and right leg out, left leg straight, and then reach out and down into the triangle. And I'm just going to walk around and see what they look like. Okay, so what I would say to George is just, may I adjust you a little bit?
Yes.
Okay, so what I would say is just see if you can pull this hip back just a little bit more, so that your chest is more wide open to the front. Perfect. And then this arm, can you bring it up the tiniest bit? And then stretch those fingers just nice and long. Beautiful. Perfect. Gorgeous. And Kristen, gorgeous. I'm actually going to say the same thing. I'm going to sit back just the tiniest bit. There you go. So you're just more front. And this arm just that way. Really spit. Okay, beautiful. All right, you guys have probably had enough. Come up when you want to. So that's what an adjustment looks like. Again, nothing, and nobody's going to muscle you in any direction. And but again, feel free to say no anytime. So we'll try, since we have arms or feet out. Let's put feet back out. Okay, we're going to move into Warrior 2, which we have done before, and we'll start left side once again. So foot turned out, as it was for triangle. And this is going to move your hip just a little bit in the direction of the turned out foot, but try to keep your hips level in this pose and keep your chest fully forward. Shoulders open, chest wide. All right? And from here, we'll inhale, arms up to shoulder level, palms down, and then we exhale, knee bent over, turned out foot. You can adjust your feet if you like to get that where you want. Your knees should be kind of straight up above your ankle here. All right, and when you're in position, then you look out over your turned out foot, straight out over your hand. And breathe and feel like a warrior. Relax your shoulders. Head is turned but not pushed to its limit. Energy shooting out from your fingertips in both directions, arms reaching. And when you've had enough, come on back up, unbend your knee, forward feet, arms down. And we'll head over to the other side. Take a breath, prepare yourself, and when you're ready, inhale up and exhale, bend. And look out. Try to have your weight distributed evenly on your 2 feet. That's gorgeous, Kristen. Very nice. I like it. This arm is lagging just a little bit, George. Perfect. Stretched out hands. Let's pick some good backup dancers. All right, when you've had enough, come on up. But don't close your feet just yet. We're going to try something else. I'd like to introduce a new pose called side angle. Pretty self-explanatory, all right? But we will go back to the first side where we just did warrior one. And basically, same position. And what I'd like to do is to do warrior two. We learned warrior one yesterday, but this is warrior two we're doing. So first we're going to go back into warrior two, and then we're going to morph into side angle so you can kind of see the difference, okay, like we did with warrior two and warrior one before. All right, so from here, you've got your feet comfortable and firm, left foot turned out, right foot straight, arms up, and then exhale down. Here's your warrior two, all right? And now side angle, we're going to just head on down, rest your forearm on that bent leg, and bring your right arm up overhead by your ear. All right, so what we're aiming for is an angle from foot all the way up to fingertips. Okay, a nice long stretch angle. Keep breathing, shoulders relaxed. Try not to lean too much weight on this arm. And now morph back into warrior two if you can without lifting your leg, and then come back to center. It's a little hard to come back to warrior two. It kind of heats up these quads quite a bit, so. All right, let's try that on the other side. Take a breath, get yourself situated, prepared. And we'll do the same thing. We'll go warrior two, morph into side angle, back to warrior two and up, okay? Ready? Arms up to shoulder level. Exhale down into the bend. And there's your warrior two. Now let's bring it into side angle. So forearm down to your bent knee, arm overhead at your ear. Nice long stretch all the way from finger to foot. Keep breathing. Lift up on this a little bit so you're not putting too much weight on it. Chest is open, shoulders relaxed, neck relaxed. And then hold your bent leg and morph back into warrior two and bring it up. And come on back to mountain pose. And just take a minute to breathe. Those are pretty strenuous poses. So you've earned a rest in mountain pose. Really how your body is heated up since we started. All right, need a sip of water. Before we learn a new balance pose. So today we're going to try eagle pose, okay? We've learned the tree, we've learned the dancer, now we learn the eagle. So eagle it's a little bit complicated, but maybe it looks more complicated than it is. But I'm going to teach it to you in two parts because arms do something and legs do something, okay? So first we're going to do eagle arms. So what you do is you bring your arms out and then cross left arm over right arm, kind of just above the elbows, all right? And then from there, you're going to wrap them together until you can bring palms together. Do they look like an eagle yet? All right, this is eagle arms. Some teachers suggest that you bring it kind of up so that your forearm is more parallel to the floor. My arms don't do that, okay? I broke this as a teenager and it doesn't want to go up like that. But you can hold them here, that's perfectly fine. Anywhere that you feel comfortable is good. And then gently unfold them. And then we'll try the other direction, okay? So this time, right arm over. And just again, above your elbows, upper arm. And then twist them around until they come together. So those are eagle arms. And in some classes you may find that the instructor just says we're going to do eagle arms and they don't mess with the legs, okay? Because as you can feel, this is kind of an intense pose already because it's really opening up your shoulder blades, it's kind of twisting these arms and all that kind of stuff. So that alone is a good pose, all right? But we're going to try adding the legs. But first we'll do the legs alone, okay? And if you remember, we did left over first, okay? The legs you do the opposite direction as you do the arms. So if we did arms left over, then we're going to do legs right over, okay? Seeming complicated? Yes. It'll take a few days to master this one. But what I want you to do now is just find your balance, okay? Come to your peaceful place. Start to put your weight just on your left foot so that you're able to take your right one off the floor, okay? Nice, grounded, rooted left foot. And you're going to want to bend your left knee just a little bit. And then you're going to bring your right foot up over, just like you did with your arms, okay? And you're going to twist it around. The good news is you don't have to put your feet palms together, okay? So this is eagle legs. All right, let's untwist, come back. And if you fall, if you can't hold it, then just calm yourself, start fresh. No big deal, all right? All right, let's try the other side of eagle leg. So this time we'll ground the right leg, the right foot, nice and rooted. And we'll take the left leg, knee slightly bent on your standing leg. Left leg up and over, thigh over thigh, and then twist it around and hook the foot around your calf. Okay? I don't hear a lot of falling down behind me, so they must be doing okay. And bring it back to mountain. Or they're just standing there pretending to do it. That could be the case as well. All right, we're going to try to put it together if you feel ready for it, okay? So, we'll start with the arms. So left over right, twist it around, palms together, sink into bent knees a little bit, Ground your left leg, lift your right foot, and twist it around your leg. And now you are an eagle. And when you've had enough, come on out, just untwist gently. And we'll go straight into the other side. So this time, right arm over, palms together, bend knees, ground your right leg, lift your left foot off, and circle it around. And breathe like an eagle. And unfold. All right, shake it out and let's lie down for a minute. On your back for Shavasana. Lengthen the back of your neck and relax the features of your face. Push your shoulders down toward your feet. Palms up, arms relaxed at your sides. Press your lower back into the floor and straighten out your legs. And then relax your lower back and let your legs fall to the sides. And begin to sink into the floor. Nice deep breaths from your belly. Feel all the energy coursing through your body from all that yoga we did. Let your head sink heavy into the floor, your shoulders, your hips, your arms, your hands. Focus your attention on your breath. Still let everything go. Legs heavy on the floor, feet heavy. Just breathe and feel peaceful from all that yoga. It was a high energy class. You can stay where you are, or when you feel ready, start wiggling fingers and toes. Bring your feet flat to the floor and your knees up. And then roll onto your side. Use your hand to push yourself up. Head is the last thing to come up. Cross your legs. Feel good about how you just spent the last 45 minutes. Namaste.